Hello and welcome to my review of the Start Collecting Demons of Nurgle box set. Firstly, before I get into the review of the Start Collecting set, I'd just like to say a huge thank you all for joining me today. I know there's 101 things that you could be doing. You could be catching up on the latest episode of Star Trek. You could just be starting your binge watching of the new series of Stranger Things, or you could even be catching up to date with Walking Dead. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment in entertainment, but I do appreciate you spending your time and watching this video and watching the other videos too. It really means a lot to me, and I'm very humbled when I see people watch the videos, that like them, and just leave a little comment of thanks. It does mean a lot to me, and I try and read every comment that people put on there. Always open to suggestions as always. Right, let's get on to the rest of the review. This set will cost you £50. I think all the miniatures, if you bought them separately, is about £82, so I think it saves you about £32 or so. So it's well worth it. I mean, the Herald of Nurgle itself, I think it's like 15, and the plague drones at the back are 35 for the three. So it's worth it just for the Herald and the drones, let alone the little pack of Nurglings and the plague bearer set. So what I've done is I've put the Demons of Nurgle box set on the right and the Death Guard Codex on the left, and that's because I wouldn't have actually even thought about getting this set if it wasn't for the Death Guard Codex. Most of these miniatures here are featured in the Death Guard Codex because they're Nurgle, with the exception of the Herald of Nurgle, but I think that he's in the Chaos Index book anyway, so you can still summon him in for Death Guard, so you could still use him. He's quite a potent little unit too for buffing up your units and just being an extra sorcerer type psyker on the battlefield for your army. I think it's a great set, I really do. Other than the cost saving, all the miniatures are really decent for what they do. If you were to get an extra 10 or 20 of these plague bearers and add them to this set, you would then get the -1 to hit that unit and pretty much any unit behind it. So they're very useful. The Nurglings are pretty useful. They've got a fair number of wounds and they've got their invulnerable saves. They are a bit squishable though. The plague drones are fantastic. They've got a high number of wounds, high number of attacks if you can get them in close enough. But with the movement 10 inches, that's a good guarantee. And like I said before, the Herald of Nurgle is quite a potent little sorcerer type psyker for your army too. I really think that they fit the aesthetics of the Death Guard as the purest sort of form of Nurgle. They're going to look great next to Poxwalkers and Beasts of Nurgle, Chaos Spawn, things like that. I mean, it's up to you. If you still want a completely purebred kind of, Death Guard kind of Space Marine army, with tanks and rhinos, things like that, you still can do that. That's perfectly fine. Nobody's sort of pushing you into the corner of having, demons, or specifically Demons of Nurgle, in your Death Guard army. It's a complete choice. Likewise, instead of the Poxwalkers and the sort of zombie kind of hordes and things, you can go down the cultist route and have your, worshippers of chaos be sort of humans, or still have some resemblance of humans compared to sort of Poxwalkers, which are quite mindless. So yeah, this set overall is massive thumbs up for me. No doubt the other demon sets are great too. This set, because it's a demon set, no doubt has the added advantage of me, if I wanted to, using these models in a Age of Sigmar game, if I found the war scrolls and things like that. So in a way, I'm pretty much getting two armies in one. I can use them for my Death Guard, and if I were to start up Sigmar, I could just use them in that too. So just for the savings alone, I definitely pick up a second set of these, and then probably get a separate set of plague bearers just to get that 30, and that would be me done with the Demons of Nurgle. Maybe get a Great Unclean one or a Plague Father or something like that to flesh out the unit. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with this set. No doubt the other Demons sets are of equal value, if not more value. I do like the Slanesh one and the Tzeentch one and the Khorne one actually. I think they're all good looking sets. I wish I could unbox and review all of them for you, but at least you get to see you know, something sort of Nurgle based. So I'll just have a little bit of a recap where I look at the miniatures individually. So this is the Herald of Nurgle. I think he's a great looking miniature, really repugnant and gross, and you know, he's got the little Nurgling going on. He really just demonstrates everything that's sort of wrong with Nurgle. He's got mutations, he's got guts and bile and stuff coming out, he's got bells, he's got the Nurgling, he's got the sort of one eye kind of demonic head thing with the plague sword. It's just everything about Nurgle just is in this model. And then the plague bearers to like a lesser extent. Because it comes with Nurglings, you're given options to make hilarious models like this one too, or even this one as well. So it gives you a bit of fun with making these miniatures. They're not the most posable miniatures by any means. They don't have a lot of spare parts, but the miniatures that you can create are pretty fun looking. Yeah, the Nurgling set is probably the weakest out of all of them. They're the easiest to make because they're only like 3 rows of Nurglings, and they're going to look quite samey, but when they're all bundled up and things, it's not going to be that kind of apparent. You can always put Nurglings at the front or at the back, but they're still fun little models, little bases. And then of course the plague drones at the back, lovely miniatures. You can really pose all those wings and spikes and legs completely different if you wish. The only difference being that the holes for where the bases go will always be in the same position, so you just got to be mindful of that. But at least you can swap the heads out with the plague bearers, and maybe with a little bit of converting, swap a couple of the arms out and things. So now all we're looking for really is a start collecting Death Guard set, which I hope is not too far away on the horizon. It would be great if Games Workshop did the start collecting Death Guard set. Model wise, what would be in there? That's a tough one. Maybe the Dark Imperium miniatures, maybe just your set of Plague Marines. But then again, your set of Plague Marines is £30 for your 7. I don't know what other miniatures they could put in there to keep it under the sort of £80 mark for your £50. Maybe a bloat drone, maybe the Blight Hauler, and then hopefully they'll release the other miniatures separately, like the Plague Caster and Blightbringer, things like that, in like a second sort of coming of Nurgle, as it were. Or is that Slanesh? There's an inside joke there. Anyway, so we've just got to wait for a couple more releases for Nurgle to have them all finished. But from what Games Workshop have brought out in the past couple of months for Nurgle and Death Guard, I'm really chuffed. I think it's a great little release. I would have liked everything to be released over those weeks rather than holding stuff back. But there we go, at least there's something more to look forward to in the future. And that's pretty much the end of my review for the Daemons of Nurgle box set, and a bit of a look at the Death Guard models too. Even though it's Friday, fear not, this will not be my last Death Guard or Nurgle video that I upload. If I haven't put it up already, I will be putting up a painting tutorial. My painting isn't the best in the world, but if you want to get a miniature looking something similar to that, then my tutorial will help you in that endeavour. But as I say, not the best painter in the world, but hopefully you'll get some tips and tricks from that video. Also, I will be doing both a Death Guard entire range review, which won't include these models, and it won't include a couple of others, where I'll look at all of the Death Guard releases that have come out. That video has obviously been delayed a little bit, just because they haven't brought out all of the models in that release yet. So you can expect that as soon as they have brought all of the models out, so to speak. And then finally, I'll do my Death Guard army so far video, like I did with the Primaris Space Marines. I did a video of all the Primaris new releases, and then I did a Primaris army video so far video. So I hope you enjoy those too, coming soon to the channel. But for now, for the next few weeks, unless there's no more Death Guard to be released, next week will be Eldar content. And then the 2 weeks after that, we're in November. So it will be mainly Tyranid focused, where I'll review all the models, some from another collecting box set, and also the codex too. We'll have a little look at that. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.